I'm Tiffy and Bethy. I would like to apologize in advance for this book review because I'm kind of sick, so I sound a little weird. But I needed to do this book review because I finished another book. And it's my favorite, I think, that I've read thus far in 2013. And it is by a man named Noble Smith, and it is called The Wisdom of the Shire, A Guide to a Long and Happy Life. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, oh my god, enough with the hobbits already. I'm gonna murder you in your sleep. Alright, noted. That being said, it's part of my soul, and they cannot take that away from me. This guy, Noble Smith, I love this guy. He is a Tolkien nerd. And I really, someday, I want a relationship like the kind of relationship he has with his wife, because in college they used to sit in the dorm room and just read Lord of the Rings back and forth to each other. That is so freaking cute. What I love most about this book is that it doesn't just cover the Shire. It covers every race and every aspect of the books in Middle-earth and Tolkien's Legendarium. I really don't think self-help books are bad. I have enjoyed reading a couple of them in the past. You get those book hangovers, right? When a book is over and you're just kind of in a really misty daze for a couple days afterward. That's how I felt when I finished this book. There's a quote in here from Tolkien that I love so much, and he says, this is him saying, these are from his actual letters that he wrote. He says, "I am in fact a hobbit in all but size. I like gardens, trees, and unmechanized farmlands. I smoke a pipe. I like a good plain food. I go to bed late and get up late when possible." It feels like summer. That's how I can explain it. That's what Tolkien's world feels like to me. It feels like summer all the time. There's some great little side notes in each of the chapters. A lot of little asterisks, and it says things, and it explains a lot of the things like, oh, this is what this word is derived from Anglo-Saxon, whatever. Your own personal golem, which I have known many. But it tells you how to deal with them. People nowadays, if they come across someone they absolutely hate, they either have no idea how to deal with them at all, or they just flat out punch them in the face and just go whatever and start swearing and cursing. And I don't like to deal with people that way. I mean, unless they make me insanely angry do I get to that point, but that is very, very rarely. And I would really like to know how to properly deal with the situation, because that shows that I have respect for myself as well as other people. And sometimes it's really hard because I get really nervous in situations like that. Some people you can't help, but you should try to anyway. And if at a certain point where they just still aren't seeking your help or listening to you, then you should just cut ties and let them go. And I think that is very good advice. This chapter I really liked, dealing with the big people, because this is one of the big things that makes me feel very Hobbit-like, because I like to be left alone in my own little world, and I don't like to concern myself with the outside world because it's too big, it's too extroverted, it's too noisy, and it drives me nuts sometimes. But once in a while I do get the urge to go out on an adventure and see what else is out there, but I don't want too much of it, because that is just go. Reading this book makes me want my own personal Gandalf. And at the end of every chapter it says, "The wisdom of the Shire tells us," and it'll give you like a little quick summary of what the chapter was about. "Let your moral compass point your way through the world of the big people, and don't compromise the core of who you are." I love that. Be who you are. Yeah. When I first got into Lord of the Rings, I wanted so badly to be an elf. I was kind of really down on myself because I felt more like a dwarf or a hobbit, and I thought, ugh, gross. I wanted to be an elf. I wanted to be tall and fair-skinned and fair-haired and graceful and full of light and everything. And then, after a while I was like, you know what? It seems a little ridiculous. And I started to accept my own inner hobbit. and I found out that being a hobbit is the best thing to be ever. I'm going to have my own party tree. When I have my own home, there's going to be a massive tree in the backyard, and every birthday I will fill it up with lights and we will have a cute outside-y party under that tree. And they're talking about hobbit birthdays as well. When a hobbit celebrates his birthday, the hobbit does not get presents. Instead, he gives presents away on that day. So for all the other hobbits in the Shire, every day is like a birthday. But that is one of the great things about Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit, is that there's pretty much a song on like every other page. And I really wish that people would just burst out and sing more. And they have a cute little thing at the end, directions for making a small hobbit garden for fruits and vegetables and something so you can be self-reliant. And they also have a hobbit quiz. And of course I was the super hobbit. Definitely brings back the charm of quaint living, which I love. And I really wish I lived in Middle-earth right now. I'm starting my new job soon, so I probably won't be uploading every Thursday. Maybe it'll be every Friday. No promises. But I hope you enjoy your day, and I will see you next week.